Greeting to all of you. The following will be the discuss of difference between total return value, internal rate of return, and net present value. The ROE is the total return value received by the partners on their capital contribution. In contrast, the internal rate of return shows the annualized return of an investment over a certain period. The ROE is a measure expressed as a multiply that describes the probability of a project, and it's calculated by dividing total net earning among investor input. Let's look at the example. If the total amount in a project is 1 million pesos and all capital distribution receive total 2.5 millions, the capital multiply is calculated by dividing 2.5 millions by 1 million, resulting in 2.5 times. A multiply graded that 1 is a gain on the capital contribution. Following the example, 2.5 times means that for each weight we deliver, we will receive 2.5 including initial weight. The internal rate of return or internal rate of return on an investment in the university say that is the discount rate that brings the net present value to zero. But that tells actually the Tir is tell us if worth investing in that project or another. TIR is the geometric average of the yield-paying project. It compares to the opportunity cost of investing in another business or in another project. The disadvantage is that it is complicated to calculate, since you have to project well cost, revenues, time, and it should be compared with the weighted average cost of capital, which is another calculation. But right now we're not in a financial class. In short, it is the interest rate at which the investment that is made is recovered. Internal rate of return performs the same calculation by bringing the VAN to zero. So the result of this equation results in a percentage, which will then be compared to the percentage of interest that has been defined as safer. As the name implies, the internal rate of return displays an internal return value of the company expressed as a percentage and comparable to an interest rate. For the following formula, we describe below the representation of these components, where Qn is cash flow in period N. N is the number of periods. I is the value of the initial investment. Net present value is an indicator that brings to mind the project follow of a project. Simpler follows are discounted at a rate and indicate what the profit will be worth today. If the project conforms the projections, the rate at which is the discount in the famous weighted average cost of capital, which weight the amount of capital from different sources that most common on capital and banking. But there are different figures of capitalization such as bonds, stocks, etc. A VAN 0 indicates that the project cover are expressed, and if the expressed profit is placed in the expense, it means that the project is acceptable. A VAN equals to 0 is not acceptable. Net present value, form of net current value. Let's look at the components of the VNN formula or net current value and its representation. VT represents cash flows in each T periods. IO is the value of the initial disbursement of the investment. N is the number of periods considered. K is the cost of the capital used.